Welcome to Chemistry Lover, and today in this video I am going to discuss about all these three questions you can see. So this is a video after a long time. I apologize for that. I was busy and that's why I couldn't make videos for you, but now on I will make videos for you. So if you are new in this channel, subscribe this channel for getting more videos like this, and also please press the bell icon because I have seen that you people are not getting the notification whenever I am uploading videos. So do that. And now let's start our today's topic. So I will discuss these questions one by one. So first let us pick this first question, and all these three questions are based on three different topics. So let us first take the first example. So in the first question number 1, you can see this is given. So we have this spirocyclic compound where we have this oxime group and it is treated with SOCl2. So what will happen in the first step? So SOCl2, if I open up the structure, it will be like this, and now this OH group, it will attack on sulfur and one chlorine will leave. So here what you will get is, you will get something like this. So OSOCl. So this is the thing you will get out of here. Now if you look at this particular thing very carefully, it has a similarity of this. So let's say you have this N, this O, and any living group, for example OTS, like this, and you have one R group. So now if you look at this particular thing very carefully, this will remember you one reaction, that is the Beckmann rearrangement. So what happens in Beckmann rearrangement is this R group migrates over here, and this OTS or any other living group, it goes. So similarly here you have this living group, so it can go, and this is your R group, so it can migrate. Now there is a question whether a migration will take place, that is whether a Beckmann rearrangement or a Beckmann fragmentation, and in this case both are possible. So you will get two products. So in one case this will migrate. So if this migrates, that is the rearrangement, then the product which you will get is, so this ring will remain as it is, but now here you can see, so this side, so this group is actually migrating like this. So here what you will have is, you will have this N, this, and now you can see here you will have a positive charge, because from here this group is migrating and this is leaving like this. So here you will have a positive charge, and now water molecule is present, so water will attack over here. So next what will happen? So you can see next this thing will generate. So here you have this, so here you have nitrogen, here you have a double bond, and here you have this OH. So water attacks, it will be OH. Now tautomerism will take place like this. So you can see this tautomerism will take place, and this nitrogen will take one hydrogen. Here you will have the carbonyl group. So this is one product, and this is out of Beckmann rearrangement. So this is the product of Beckmann rearrangement. Now another possibility is the Beckmann fragmentation. So what happens in case of Beckmann fragmentation is, so again I have to redraw it. So it is like you have this OSOCl. Now if this bond goes like this and this goes as a living group, so it is the Beckmann fragmentation. Here the fragmentation occurs. So what you will get here is, say this is 1 2 3 4 5. So there are 5 carbon atoms, 1 2 3 4 5, and in this carbon atom you will have this cyanide group, because you can see when this bond goes here, you will have a triple bond, and this goes as living group. So this is the triple bond, and now here you have the positive charge. So after that, from here the hydrogen can be eliminated, and so if the hydrogen elimination occurs, what you will get is you will get something like this. So here you have 1 2 3 4 and 5 carbon atom. Here you have this cyanide. So this is the product of Beckmann fragmentation. So both products you will get. So one product is this one out of Beckmann rearrangement, and another product is this one out of Beckmann fragmentation. Now let us discuss the second question. The second question was this one, and probably I discussed this question once in my video, one of my videos, but now again I am discussing, no problem, it will be a practice for you. So you have this pyridinium pyridine N oxide, right? And in the first step it is given that acetic anhydride is given. So very simple reaction, this O minus will attack on acetic anhydride like this. Actually I should write like this, and from here you will get this thing. So you have this O, this COCH3. so this is the thing you will get. So this is the O acetylation of pyridine N oxide, right? Now in the second step you have given OH minus. Okay, you have given OH minus. So OH minus, what it will do, it will take a proton from here because this proton is very much acidic. So OH now it can take proton from here, and by that you will put a negative charge over here, but that negative charge is actually delocalized into this nitrogen. So what you will get over here is you will get something like this. Okay, so this is the thing you will get out of this step after the proton abstraction. Now if you look carefully, so this is 1 2 3 and this is 1 2 3. So this is a 3-3 sigmatropic rearrangement possibility. So there a 3-3 sigmatropic rearrangement can occur like this, you can see. So out of this 3-3 sigmatropic rearrangement, what you will get, you will get this OCOMe group over here. So this acyl group actually shifts from here to here, and there you have this neutral nitrogen. So this is the product you will get out of this reaction, but heating is given, and this step also needs heating, but it doesn't need much heating. But as heating is given and more hydroxide is present, so in this condition this ester group will be hydrolyzed. So this OH will attack over here and this ester group will be hydrolyzed. So finally you will get a product like this, OH. So this is the final product out of this reaction. So this is a very important reaction, and this is your answer. Now let us talk about the last question of this video. The last question is this one, and it is a very famous name reaction, as you will see. So this is the thing given, and here you have given H3PO4, which is a very strong acid. Along with that there is acetic acid also. So no doubt in the first step the protonation of the carbonyl group will take place. So you will have protonation over here. Now if this bond opens after the protonation, you will get something like this OH, and here you have the positive charge. Now if you look carefully, so here a cyclization can take place, you can see. So this is a electrocyclic ring closing reaction. You can see this is there are 1 2 3 4, so 4 electrons involved here. So it is a 4 pi electron thermal electrocyclic ring closing reaction, and that's why it will be con-rotatory. But here stereochemistry doesn't have any effect, so that's why we don't need to bother about whether it is con-rotatory or dis-rotatory. But according to the Woodward-Hoffmann rule, it will be a con-rotatory electrocyclic ring closing because it is a 4 electron system. you can see this is empty, so here there is no electron. So this is a 4 electron system and it is in thermal condition. So a conrotatory ring closing like this, if we want to show by arrow, actually pericyclic reaction we shouldn't show with arrows, but if we show with arrow we will have this ring closing thing. Here you have the positive charge like this, or actually the direction should be reverse. See, actually I should write it in another way. How I should write it? So I should write it in this way. Okay, so if I write it in this way, you will have this bond shift over here. So now double bond over here and positive charge over here. Why I did this? Because now you can see this is the tertiary carbocation, previously it was a secondary carbocation, so this is more plausible. And now you have a proton over here, so this can be eliminated. So if this proton elimination occurs, you will have this double bond over here, and here tautomerization will take place, so you will have a carbonyl group over here. So this is the product out of this reaction, and this is called Nazarov cyclization. Nazarov cyclization. This is a very important and famous name reaction. So all these 3 questions we will have these answers. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, then give a thumbs up and share this video with your friends. Thank you for watching.